the Electoral Analysis Centre, which is in the heart of Abuja, has started its deliberations. It's a whole massive setup they have here in a building which is in the heart of the city, where a short drive from here, there's the police headquarters, and we were there earlier seeing all the police as they were being deployed, as they were getting their last instructions from police headquarters. Over at INEC offices, who we'll hear from shortly, they have had a mammoth task trying to get things together ahead of tomorrow's elections. Because imagine this statistic, Audrey: over 84 million registered voters, 91 political parties, over 70 candidates, that's presidential candidates, on the ballot papers, and this is the statistic that really blew me: 119,973 polling stations. Those are just some of the details that Nigeria's Electoral Commission has to deal with, INEC. Well, to discuss some of those, which is being addressed at a conference which has just started, a briefing which is being given to electoral observers, to analysts who are going to be poring over all the figures, all the statistics, all the kind of trends that are coming from those different voting stations. I have here Professor Jibrin Ibrahim, who is a senior fellow for the Centre for Democracy and Development, and he's just one of the many advisors and analysts they have with them here. Sir, thank you very much for joining us here on Focus on Africa. Are you content with the assurances, because we know that the police chief and the police spokesman today has been given assurances that all is well ahead of the elections? Are you convinced?
I'm very convinced that this is one of the elections which has been prepared for so well in the history of elections of this country. The Electoral Commission is ready. It has challenges, but it's been addressing the challenges. The police, as you are aware, there were problems with the previous Inspector General, and a new one has been put in place, and things are going rather smoothly, I would say.
When you say challenges, what kind of challenges do you feel have been the worst so far, or the toughest?
I think 2 days ago we were quite shocked to find out that over 4,000 card readers had been burnt in Oka, in Anambra State, and we were wondering how INEC would be able to address it. But we were quite glad to find out within 48 hours they were able to replace all the burnt card readers, program the new ones. They had to bring in over 100 programmers to make sure they do it in time, and they are already deploying. So I think it's been, at the level of organization and logistics, a very well planned election.
And this is one thing as well that has been on many people's minds, is the issue of security, because of the very kind of attacks that you talk about. So not just in terms of the voting materials getting to where they have to, but the security that's going to be on the ground once these materials arrive, and once voters, more importantly, arrive to cast their ballot. What kind of things have the police been saying, and what kind of assurances have you as a citizen been getting?
Well, there are really three types of challenges in terms of the security and the police. The first is a lot of concerns earlier on the neutrality and non-partisanship of the police, which led to demands for the removal of the previous Inspector General of Police. And he has indeed been removed, and the new one appears to us all as somebody who is much more professional and neutral in his operation. The second security challenge has to do with the high levels of violence in some parts of the country. Borno, there has been increasing violence. In Zamfara State, there has been a lot of violence. So there are concerns that in certain places, because of high levels of violence, voters may not be able to come out.
What kind of things are you then deliberating here? Because there are situation rooms everywhere in different headquarters, as I say, the police headquarters, the Electoral Commission are having their own deliberations. What kind of deliberations are you doing here? What is this situation room here?
Well, we call ourselves the one-shop center for anything elections. The first thing is that we have deployed over 3,000 observers in all states of the Federation, and at this headquarters we are receiving their reports on what's going on in the different states and local governments. The second thing we are addressing is that we have 40 data analysts here who are going through the social media in particular, identifying what appears to be fake news, fact-checking them, and informing the public on to be cautious about such fake and sometimes dangerous news items that are in circulation.
Well, Professor Ibrahim, hopefully we'll be getting more details later in this program from the INEC chief, who's just been giving more details about how they're rolling out all the voting material. But for now, here at the Elections Analysis Centre, Professor